Добрый день. Меня зовут Волосюк Ирина Валентиновна. Я старший преподаватель кафедры общенаучных дисциплин. И сегодня я расскажу вам о системе времен английского глагола, и эта дисциплина «Практическая грамматика». So let's speak about verb tense system in English. Today I will give you a basic overview of the system, and we will try to compare it with Russian tenses. I think it will be much easier. Of course, it's difficult to think about time distinctions in a foreign language. It's easier to compare with Russian. In Russian, we do not change the form of the verb when we think about tenses. In English, we have to do it. Speaking about existence of tenses, we can say, and I think this is the same fact, the similar fact, both in Russian and English, that we have three main tenses in Russian: present, past, future, and in English as well. But at the same time, all these tense groups have four aspects. Each of them has four aspects, and they are simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. As a result, in the English tense system, we have 12 major verb tenses. And of course, they can give us, and this is a main difference, more information about the type of actions. So, in Russian we do not change the verb. In English we change the form of the verb. And let us compare the classification of Russian and English verbs. As you can see, I suppose you can see, according to this table, you can see that the English verb can be classified into main verb and auxiliary verb. Main, auxiliary, which means helping verb. In Russian, we do not have such classification, and in our native language, Belarusian language as well. So, one more interesting detail. Of course, in Russian, when we analyze the type of actions, and they are called aspects in English, we also use special tense phrases. And in the English language, we do the same. But we'll speak about it later. Now, speaking about the main and auxiliary verb, it's better to start with the explanation. Let's first of all see how to change the main verb in English. First of all, I want to draw your attention to the idea that we should start from the infinitive. Infinitive, in Russian we call it неопределенная форма глагола. Неопределенная форма глагола. And as we call verb, let us use this abbreviation V. Infinitive, что делать, играть, in the English language, to play. So the particle to is the main sign, and you can identify it in the text. Then, to form the present simple form, you should change the infinitive into first form of the verb, and it is bare infinitive. It is called bare infinitive. For third person singular, you will have to add the suffix s. Then, for past simple tense, main verb is changed into the second form, and how to use it according to the regulation, to add the suffix ed. And of course you should memorize the regular forms of these verbs. One more point, the English verbs can be divided into two main groups, regular and irregular, not like in Russian or Belarusian language. Then, here, it's better. Then to form perfect, sorry, here, we should use the third form of the main verb. And of course, the second and third form of the main verb, if we are speaking about regular verbs, they are the same. We should add the suffix ed. And the third form of irregular verbs, of course it's bad news for some students, we will have to memorize. Now, when we speak about continuous or perfect continuous aspects, and they are called progressive, we use the in form of the verb, and sometimes it can be called the fourth form. Besides, the main difference between Russian and English is that the English tense system uses auxiliary verbs to form tense aspects, and they are helping verbs. We can say do for simple group, be for continuous aspect, have for perfect aspect, and perfect continuous is a very interesting case in English, and the auxiliary verb to be is used even there. Besides, helping verbs have short forms, not main verbs, but helping verbs have short forms, and they are am not, ain't, isn't, is not, isn't, are not, aren't, and the same happens with the auxiliary verb do. Do not, don't, does not, doesn't, and have not, haven't, has not, hasn't. I want to draw your attention to the fact that only in two cases we do not use the help of auxiliary verbs, and these cases are in present simple positive, in past simple positive. Be attentive with this fact. And as to special tense phrases, the main characteristics of simple group of tenses, it doesn't matter present, past or future. We characterize this group as a single action. In general, simple tenses express facts and situations that existed in the past, they exist in present, and they will exist in future. By the way, if you have a look at the auxiliary will, you will see that it is used for formation in all line of future tenses. In each of this aspect. Will do, will be doing, will have done, will have been doing. When we speak about continuous group of tenses, or they are called progressive, we use these tenses to talk about unfinished events, and they need time to happen, and they will finish in future. In present continuous, I am doing now, I was doing at 3 o'clock. Yesterday I will be doing at 3 o'clock, but tomorrow. And here you can see special tense phrases for present simple, for past simple, for future simple, and for present continuous, for past continuous, and future continuous. Like this. If we compare these aspects, we will see that this group of simple actions express regular actions, facts in present, past and future, and continuous group will express the actions in progress, and at some moment, it doesn't matter, at present, in the past or in the future, or in the period of time. So, and you can see the tense, special tense phrases. The next group of perfect tenses, on the contrary, described finished action. By the way, it is the most interesting and at the same time the most difficult group of tenses, because they express the idea that one event happens before another event, and they are always finished, completed actions. As you can see, these actions demonstrate us that the action have already finished. I have done, I had done before 5 o'clock, by 5 o'clock yesterday, I will have done it by the end of the day, for example. And you will see it. Future perfect and past perfect. And the last, the fourth aspect, perfect progressive tense or perfect continuous tense. Generally, this tense expresses duration of the action, answering the question, how long has it been happening? And the prompts for this group of tenses are since and for. How long? Since and for. It doesn't matter when exactly, in the future, in the past, or in the present. Since for up to now, since for up to the past moment, and since for up to the future moment. The duration of the action, how long have you been doing? So, the examples and practice, of course, we will take during our classes. But let us make conclusions and some recommendations. First of all, point 1. The English system of tenses gives us more information than the Russian systems through these 4 aspects. The form verb tenses, you have to add a form of have, do, be, will in front of the main verb. The English language has only two ways of forming a tense form from the verb alone without helping, without the help of auxiliary verbs, and I told you. Only in both, in two cases, present simple positive and past simple positive. Be attentive with the verbs to be and to have, they have special forms. You know that their own forms. The verb to be has special forms in present simple and in past simple. And the verb to have has special forms only in present simple. Be attentive. For the third person singular, I have, we have, they have, you have, but she has, he has, it has. Be attentive with the group of state verbs. You do not use state verbs into aspects in continuous and perfect continuous aspect. And the last conclusion and a kind of recommendation. Adverbs are your friends. Adverbs of time offer valuable clues about the correct verb tense, and they help you to choose the suitable tense form. That's all for now. I wish you happy studies. Bye.